Hello everyone. I would like to introduce Nimit and Shivya. So Nimit and Shivya are both product managers. They are working in Paytm, and today we will be talking about subscriptions. So as we all know that during times like the current times, we want the business to be growing as well as having stable income stream, and subscriptions can help us in both. Subscriptions provide a stable income stream as well as they keep growing revenues very fast. So I would like to ask Nimit to show the presentation, and then I will. The format will be that first Nimit will be speaking for 20 minutes. Then we will have Q&A. I will be asking questions from both of them on subscriptions and payments using subscriptions. And then we will be focusing on audience questions. So you can ask me any questions related to subscriptions, payments, Paytm payment gateway, etc. And Nimit would be answering and Shivya would be answering. So over to Nimit.
Thanks, Saurabh. Saurabh, let me just cast my screen so that I can. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Great. Thanks. Hello everybody. Good evening. My name is Nimit Bhatia. I'm part of the product team, payments product team at Paytm. And I take care of 3 product lines, basically subscriptions, payment links, and PGs for BFSI clients. So today, I think since the topic of discussion is subscriptions, so we'll be focusing on subscriptions, right? So I think let's straight away get into it. So basically, what is subscriptions? Subscriptions is basically a product which helps businesses to kind of accept payments which are of repeat in nature. This means that if you have to, let's say, collect payments every month, every week, every year, you can use this product where the customer can simply just come one time, give a consent that I want to, allow the merchant to deduct the payment from my linked payment instrument without me having to log in every time, without me having explicitly paying every time. So the idea is you just acquire the customer once. You make the effort of acquiring the customer, asking him to come to your platform and pay once. Once that is done, basically rest of the subsequent payments are deducted automatically, right? So that's the beauty of subscriptions. Wherever there is a repeat behavior, especially with newer businesses, we were seeing a lot of uptake in subscription-led business models, right? With video content platforms, with edutech startups, with a lot of startups in the BFSI space. There is a lot of payment requirements where the customer has to come and pay on a regular basis. So I think subscriptions can kind of help ease that payment journey, both for the merchant as well as the customer, right? So from use cases perspective, basically, there are subscriptions has been traditionally used in the content subscription space. I think all of us would have created at least one subscription, either on Netflix, Hotstar, or all your music streaming apps like Gaana, JioSaavn, etc., YouTube, LinkedIn, right? So all of these content subscription startups, wherein you're seeing an uptrend in India now that people are actually paying for internet services, for these kind of subscription services. Earlier, consumers were more used to free stuff. Now we are seeing an uptake of that. People are tending to pay for subscriptions. So I think this is one big use case where subscriptions is used. Financial services for your mutual fund SIPs, for your loan repayments, for insurance repayments, credit card bill payments. I think this is again a very, very important sector where subscriptions as a product can be used. Again, there are other categories like, where you can automate your bill payments. We do this heavily on the Paytm app itself. Shivya will talk about this in this later half of the presentation, that on Paytm also, like we used to get a lot of people for paying bills. You can basically automate that, right? And customer can just give a one-time consent saying that I want to pay for my, let's say, electricity bill, and automatically every month the payment gets deducted and the consumer just comes to know that, hey, my bill is paid. So it's a quite kind of a delight for the customer, as well as from a merchant standpoint. He just has to acquire the customer once. EduTech is another good space that's coming up for subscriptions, especially in recent times. I think a lot of education has gone online, and people are paying for it. This is also a recurring use case where every month or every year, people are paying. So EduTech is one of the upcoming fields for subscription. Even on the grocery side, I don't know if you guys know about apps like Milk Basket, and where you can just specify that I want every day I want this much, let's say milk or bread or whatever, and you can just set up your subscription once. Every day, how much soever you order, your payments can get deducted automatically, right? So these are some of the popular use cases, I would say. I'm sure there are hundreds of other businesses that can use subscriptions. These were some of the popular ones which I wanted to highlight for this presentation, right? Cool. So basically, what is the subscription platform? Basically, you need to understand that for Paytm, what we do is we have a lot of businesses which can connect to our subscription platform, right? Where we kind of give different use cases to you for you to kind of integrate subscriptions into, let's say, your website or an app. But on the other side of the platform is that customers need to have the maximum number of payment options available, right? That like this, like for example, earlier subscriptions used to work only on credit cards, right? And credit cards was a limited kind of an audience that was there. So basically after that we had added Paytm Wallet. So customers can come and now set up their subscriptions on wallet, and the payment gets deducted automatically. Very recently, UPI has also launched their autopay solution, right? This is actually going to be a path breaker in terms of growing the subscription business, because we've seen a lot of uptake, obviously in our UPI payments, and we see that similar kind of an uptrend can be envisaged for repeat kind of for subscription payments as well, right? So I think with UPI autopay coming in, we've seen a lot of demand from different merchants, from different businesses that we want to integrate with UPI autopay. We also have a product known as NACH mandates. Basically, NPCI used to traditionally run this on a paper-based mandate route. I don't know if you guys have taken a loan earlier, we used to sign mandate forms. So that also has kind of been digitized now and launched by NPCI in the form of an e-mandate, where the customer can just log into his net banking and give a consent that I want to I'm giving the merchant the consent to deduct payments from my bank account, right? So these are so basically what we intend to do with this is give the maximum number of options to the user, and the user should have the maximum flexibility of choosing whichever payment instrument that he wants to use for subscriptions, and thereby kind of increasing the user base for our partner businesses, right? So basically subscriptions. we have a lot of different business scenarios that need to be catered, right, for subscriptions. Like if you would have seen, like a lot of content streaming websites, apps give trial periods, right? So basically we support that. If you want to charge, let's say if you want to charge an upfront amount while setting up the subscription, we also support that as part of the platform. Um, in case of, I mentioned the bill payments use case, right? So basically in bill payments, every month, basically a different bill amount can get generated, right? Like if you, let's say your mobile bill payment, every month we may get a, let's say, 500 rupee bill or a 700 rupee bill. So you can configure the subscription module to kind of deduct payment as per the customer's usage. And obviously there are fixed plans for OTT subscriptions, for other kind of business models, right? So that's there. We also allow for easy upgrade and downgrades of plans. So let's say if a merchant wants to kind of change his plan pricing, he can do that, and customers can now be charged the updated price. Along with that, we do a lot of we give a lot of other features like grace periods, debit on later dates. I think these details I'm not probably going to get into, but there are a lot of such functionalities that the platform kind of offers. Right. So how does subscriptions actually work, right? So from a user journey perspective, basically the user will comes to the merchant's app or website, right? He browses the different plans on the merchant's app website, and then he can just simply choose one of those plans, right? Once he chooses that, that's step number one, where basically the subscription contract is being decided. And now, what do I mean by subscription contract? Subscription contract is that, what is the frequency? Like, let's say if it's a monthly kind of a payment, or a weekly payment, or a yearly payment, what's that frequency? What's the amount that's going to be charged? Whether it's a fixed amount or a variable amount, and what is that maximum amount that can be charged? And what's the start date, what's the expiry date. So basically all these contract details are part of the plan that a customer selects on the merchant website, and all this information is passed at the time of creating a subscription, right? So you decide all these items and create the subscription on the platform. Now basically now the idea is that we have to kind of now take the customer's consent that, hey, yes, basis the contract that was shown to me, I give the merchant the consent to be able to deduct payments automatically on my behalf, right? So basically that's where we show him the payment options, where he can choose one of the payment options, and then do an authorization transaction. If there is an upfront payment, the actual payment gets also deducted along with the consent with the customer. If there is no upfront payment, then there is a 1 rupee charge that gets deducted from the linked instrument, and the subscription is activated, right? So this is the step which is the heavy lifting part for the merchant, right? Because this is where you get your customer to come and give the consent. So rest of the journey is automated, right? Every month now the payment will get deducted automatically. So the merchants can focus on acquiring customers and activating the subscriptions. And once that is done, then there is no incremental cost every month that you need to spend to be able to get your customers back, because that happens automatically. So that's how basically subscriptions, in subscriptions, you just put a one-time effort of acquiring customers, and then just getting a lot of lifetime value from those customers, because there is nothing that you need to do after that, right? So these are the steps for creating subscriptions. Right. So basically the Paytm platform, so what we've done is over the years, so basically subscriptions was launched in Paytm, I think in early part of 2018, right? And typical to some of the other products that Paytm does, we launched this in-house. And over the years, we've kind of really improved our offering and added a lot of features, and now the same offering that we give for our Paytm on app kind of use cases is also available for our third party merchants, right? So I'm just going to quickly run through these in the interest of time. Basically, what the advantage with Paytm is that Paytm has a consumer side product as well. So we have a lot of customers on Paytm, and that's why basically they kind of have a lot of saved instruments on our Paytm. Saved on Paytm, right? So basically, rather than the user having to come and enter details like entering the card number or entering the VPA for UPI, the customer can simply select the saved instrument, right? So on Paytm app, it's easy. I don't know if you guys have tested it. You just when you choose to pay, you get all your saved options. What we've done is we've given that offering also to our all our partners in terms of our different checkout products, where they can leverage the saved instruments that Paytm already has. So for example, we would have say 200 million plus saved credit plus debit cards, right? So most of your customers, most of the merchants' customers, when they come to set up their subscriptions, they can will be able to see their saved card straight away and then can simply choose, right? Similarly, we have 100 million plus saved bank accounts for UPI and mandates, and 400 million plus Paytm wallet. So lot of customers, which would be common across Paytm and the merchant, can kind of leverage the checkout experience of not having to enter details and can simply just choose one of the saved payment methods, right? Then basically we've built a couple of features to kind of improve the success rates and improve the conversion rates on subscription. So basically we have automated features like automated retries. Whenever a linked card is getting expired, we can give like a webhook notification to the merchant. Whenever a customer goes and cancels on his bank app or website, we can give notifications to merchants. So over the years, we've seen, these were some of the pain points that businesses used to face in terms of subscription, and we've kind of improved on that and give this to the merchants out of the box, right? So what we've also done is we've really improved because obviously the trend that has been seen is that the users have moved from to mobile only kind of flows, right? A lot of the business, maybe 80-90% of the business today comes from on mobile. So we've really improved our mobile checkout journeys in form of all-in-one and custom UI SDKs, which are plug-and-play SDKs and can really help improve the checkout experience at the merchant's end. I will talk about this a little later. Even on the web, we have very, very quick integration options like Blink Checkout and some of the deeper integrations where the merchants can control their own payment experience via the custom checkout, right? Rest, I think there's quick onboarding. There is a DIY flow where you can come and onboard yourself. Subscriptions, basically, to avail subscriptions on Paytm, you can just log into business.paytm.com, choose the subscriptions option, and then there is an option to sign up, which kind of gives you an option to request for subscription, and then it is automated for you, enabled for you. Sorry. Right. So as I mentioned, that the important step for subscription is where you go and take the consent from the user, which is the step one, where the customer gives you a consent ki, hey, you can deduct my linked payment instrument. And if we can improve the experience of the customer here, there are chances that more and more customers will give you that consent, which means that it leads to incremental revenue in the future, where all the rest of the payments are automated. So that's why we've spent a lot of energy on improving the checkout experience of the customer, and we give multiple flows depending on the merchant's exact need, right? So I'm just quickly going to walk through some of these use cases. Basically, we have an all-in-one SDK flow. So this is if the merchant has an app of their own, they can simply plug in this SDK. What it does is as soon as the checkout experience gets invoked, similar to if you guys have seen the redirection PG, where the PG hosted page opens up. Instead of that, here, if the customer has the Paytm app installed, the Paytm app gets invoked, and the customer can leverage all of those features which we build on our Paytm app. And can complete the journey on the Paytm app itself. So from a user experience standpoint, the customer will come and select a plan on the merchant app. As soon as he clicks on continue, the Paytm app gets invoked, and the customer can see all his saved options on Paytm, and just with a single click, set up his subscription, give the consent for automatic deduction of payments in the future. And it's done, right? So it's that simple. And what it does is it leverages all the features like native, all the features that we built for the Paytm app automatically get available for our partner merchants as well. So that's the all-in-one SDK. Then we have a custom UI SDK. So a lot of especially larger merchants, what they tend to do is they tend to have their own payment experience, right? So they want to customize their own payment experience. So we give a custom UI SDK, which is basically a backend SDK which does not have any UI of its own. And then you can still, with a single click, the user can actually do an app-to-app linking if the customer has the Paytm app installed, and fetch all the saved payment instruments that the customer may have on the Paytm app. So imagine that this is the merchant's app, and with one single click that he gives, I give my consent to fetch the saved payment instruments on Paytm. With this click, the merchant can now display all the saved payment instruments of Paytm natively on their own app, and then with a single click, again, the subscription gets set up, and the consent is given to the merchant, right? So this is if the merchant wants to. This is like a more deeper integration. Obviously, this requires a little bit more tech bandwidth, but the advantages of this flow is that it gives a very native kind of a feel to the merchant's own app, right? Then for the web flows, we have our standard checkout, which is basically you kind of redirect to a Paytm hosted page where the customer can choose one of the payment options and set up his subscription, right? On this case, if he wants to use the saved instruments of Paytm, he has to do a quick login by entering the mobile number and OTP. But otherwise, we also support guest checkout, where the customer can choose any of the other payment instruments to set up the subscription, right? So recently, we've also innovated on TV apps, because we saw a problem that today, if you want to set up a subscription on on the TV app, typically, let's say you're on, for example, you're on Hotstar or any of the video streaming apps on the TV. Today, if you want to choose for their premium plan, you have to you have to pause the TV. You have to go either download their app or log into their website, do a login, go to their premium section, select the plan, and complete the payment there. And then once that is done, then you come back to the TV and then can and then kind of avail the premium service, right? So it's a very broken kind of an experience for TV viewers, right? So what we've done is we've created a QR code based solution where the merchant on their TV screen itself can display the QR. So customer can quickly with the remote select the plan. The merchant will be able to display the QR code on their TV app itself. Customer can quickly open the phone, scan this QR, and with one click on the Paytm app, set up the subscription and continue watching premium content on the TV platform. So this is one of the newer additions that we've added to the subscription checkout experience, and I think this is this can help improve the experience for TV consumers, right? Paytm also has a mini app flow where merchants can basically create mini apps within the Paytm app. So rather than the customer having to have apps of merchants on their device, they can simply also have these apps within the Paytm app itself. So we also support subscriptions via that. So in case if any of the merchants are interested, they can check out this flow as well. Right. Cool. So yeah, so from an overview perspective, this was subscriptions. Subscriptions as a platform, kind of helps merchants automate their repeat payments for their customers, get customers acquired once, and then the rest of the payments can get automated automatically. Cool. Saurabh, I think I'm done, so I think we can move on to the questions.
Amit has just shared about the mini apps platform. I will just let people know about the mini apps platform.
Sure.
We can ask the question answer. So just 1 minute. So this is the mini app platform. I have already messaged the link of the mini apps platform. So this is the Paytm mini apps platform. Anybody, if they want their startup to be in the mini apps program, you can write to me. I will be sharing my email address. My email address is saurabh3.jain@paytm.com. You can write to me. So basically, if you have a mobile website, you can have your icon within the Paytm app, which will give you access to a lot of customers. So many people are asking about Hindi, so I'm switching to English. So Paytm has 14 crore users. So because हमारे पास 14 crore users हैं, if you switch to mini apps platform, आपको 14 crore users की access मिलेगी, and it's a good way of reaching out to customers for B2C startups. And we have a lot of big iconic names as part of the mini apps program. तो अगर आपकी startup आप चाहते हो इन सबके साथ आपकी startup का भी icon लगे Paytm में, you can write to me. So I'm just sharing the details. If you want to, so my email address is saurabh3.jain@paytm.com. I'm writing on the chat window, and just share me the startup name, startup का जो URL है website का, and the contact person details. Just share these, and my team will contact you for the mini apps program. उसके अलावा I would also like to share about the Paytm Build for India free payment gateway plan. So Paytm, as part of Paytm Build for India, is giving free payment gateway to startups. So up till 1 lakh rupees of transaction value for 1 year, we don't charge any commission. For this also, write email to me. with the three details which I told: the name of the startup, the contact details, as well as the URL of the website or app which you have. So over with that, I like to start asking questions. So I will be asking questions, but there is a audience question. I think it's a good question. So currently, this person is using uh, Stripe because he has 30% customers from USA, 20% from Europe, and 50% in India. So how are the conversion charges you charge, or can I accept payments in USD? So Nimit, can you tell that does Paytm allow charging of money in USD for from international customers? So can you tell about international payments? And because this person, I believe, is registered in India, so basically the merchant would be Indian and the customers would be abroad. Can you tell about that, and then we can start the questions about subscription.
Sure, sure. So actually, Saurabh, currently we don't accept international payments on subscriptions. So as of now, this is only for Indian customers. So unfortunately, I think this will probably not be possible for us. We are kind of looking at expanding this into international payments as well.
But as far as I know, like if it's a one-time payment, we accept international payments.
One-time payments we do. On subscriptions, we are yet to launch on international cards.
So I will start asking the questions now. So we have, so I will be asking around 7, 8 questions. So I am asking this from Nimit. Which payment instruments do customers use for subscriptions generally?
Right. So, Saurabh, basically, what we've kind of seen is that for low ticket size products, right, for let's say less than 100, 200 rupees kind of products and services, wallet has actually been a very popular instrument with our customers, right? Because of the penetration of Paytm with us having more than 400 million wallets, and people, with Paytm being synonymous with the Paytm wallet, we've seen a lot of uptake on Paytm wallet for subscriptions for low ticket size items, right? For higher ticket size, typically, especially above 350 rupees, we've seen that people don't maintain that much balance in the wallet. So wallet will probably not be the most preferred option there. Traditionally, credit cards have been one of the most popular payment options, which and if we all, I think we all have set up some subscription on our credit cards, like with Netflix or Hotstar or Ghana, right? And actually, I feel that UPI as a payment instrument is going to make a dent in this space because of the RBI limit of 2000. So basically, RBI has allowed subscription payments on UPI for up till 2000 rupees. And I see that UPI will make a huge dent in the space and kind of grow the entire subscriptions offering for the entire Indian startup ecosystem, where Indian internet space, where a lot of subscription will be now created via UPI, owing to the ease of paying via UPI, as well as the huge penetration which we've already seen.
So a follow-up question by me is that is UPI subscription allowed on Paytm? Is it live or is it going to be live?
Yes. So sort of actually, we've recently, so I think by the end of July, NPCI had actually launched the UPI AutoPay product, right? And we were one of the first PGs to partner with NPCI and participate in that launch event. So UPI, as of now, UPI AutoPay is live, and interested merchants can integrate it right away. This is already available.
I believe that we are one of the first companies which have launched this product in a B2C manner. I think most companies currently don't, most other payment gateways don't have this UPI live. Is it true?
That's correct. So UPI is live, and it's part of all our different products that I was talking about: all-in-one SDK, custom UI SDK, custom checkout. So anybody interested can just quickly start integrating.
That's great. So I have a question for Shivya. So Shivya, how does Paytm make use of subscriptions product? Just to introduce Shivya, is part of the Paytm team which uses the subscriptions and recharges, etc. And basically, she will be telling how Paytm uses the subscription product which Nimit's team builds internally for their own products. So Shivya is part of the team which is giving the recharge and other options to the customers.
Thanks, Saurabh, for the introduction. So, just to give a brief background about Paytm subscriptions, Paytm started automatic payments around late 2017, as Nimit rightly pointed out. And since then, we've seen like a great trajectory with respect to our increase of user growth, increase in transactions, and the biggest metric which we've been tracking is our retention rate, which has drastically improved with the subscription product that has been built by the payment gateway team, right? So to talk about the use cases, we all know that Paytm is involved in so many different verticals. Now, one of the biggest use cases is bill payments, right? You have plethora of bills which we all need to pay daily, be it your electricity, water, gas, your loan installments are due, or your insurance premium is due, right? So the subscription product, the beauty of that is that not only it helps users to actually create a subscription on fixed amounts, but because when a bill is generated at that point of time, the amount could vary month on month. So one of the key use cases which has helped bill payments grow is and increase our retention is through subscription. Another interesting use case is adding money to wallet. So many a times, we would go to a shop or a pharmacy, or we're transferring money to somebody else, and we want to make that payment through a wallet. At that point of time, we realize that there is an insufficient balance. So adding money to wallet in a recurring manner, what we built as a use case is that as and when the wallet balance reaches a certain threshold, which you can define yourself. Say, for example, my wallet balance drops below 1,000. I can choose to add an amount of 2,000 or 3,000 to my wallet balance, so that it's automatically, your usage, monthly usage, and you can, maintain that sufficient balance in your wallet. Another big use case is there are so many monthly payments that consumers need to make, right? Whether you want to pay your driver monthly, whether you want to pay your rent to the landlord, or pay your domestic help, pay your daughter's tuition fee. So all of these payments can be set up in a recurring nature, wherein you can go to the Paytm bank section and automate it by setting up a recurring subscription on your Paytm bank account. Another big use case is your SIPs. Paytm Money is a big use case, and your gold SIPs, right? So these are obviously the larger use cases. It's a very proud moment that in the past 2 days, we've also launched the digital subscription category on Paytm, which you guys can check out, because as Nimit pointed out, you could go to any app, like you could go to a Hotstar or a Netflix, and you have an option to buy a subscription. But what Paytm has essentially done is that you can also buy these subscriptions. We started with Z5, and you can buy the subscription on Paytm, and we're going to add other partner merchants. So what that is going to do is that in a single central place on Paytm, you could come, it's like a one-stop place where you can come and manage all your subscriptions. So these are, some of the cases which are already live, and we're constantly working towards increasing these with respect to like recharge being a use case, like the biggest use case in India, right? And we're working towards enabling customers to go ahead and set up an automatic subscription on a prepaid recharge if you know your base plan which you're going to recharge every month. So I think these are largely, some of the cases which are constantly evolving, and this has helped Paytm a lot with respect to increasing the retention rate and stickiness of the consumer.
So I have next question from Nimit. So Nimit, thoda sa, a few people are saying कि हिंदी में बोलो, तो we will try to.
Definitely.
So the question is in English, but we will try to answer in Hindi. Can you shed some light on how the RBI guidelines released in August 2019 impacted subscription product?
Right. So actually, Saurabh, अभी तक जो हमारा till 2019 जो भी subscriptions की offering थी ना, वो cards पे चलती थी. ओवरऑल इंडस्ट्री में क्रेडिट कार्ड्स पे चलती थी, और कुछ बैंक्स के डेबिट कार्ड्स पे चलती थी. तो उससे बेसिकली एंड वो भी जो वो फ्लो था ना, वो एक्चुअली कोई वो आरबीआई अप्रूव्ड फ्लो नहीं था. मतलब आरबीआई सब्सक्रिप्शंस एज अ प्रोडक्ट को रिकॉग्नाइज ही नहीं करता था. तो वो चल रहा था एक बेसिकली एक वीजा और मास्टर कार्ड के टर्म्स में एक मोटो फ्लो बोलते हैं. मोटो फ्लो जो बेसिकली आईवीआर पेमेंट्स के लिए बना था, जहां पे एक्चुअली आपको कोई ओटीपी नहीं डालना पड़ता और आप फोन पे ही सेट कर लेते थे, पेमेंट कर लेते थे. तो वहां पे क्या था कि उस फीचर से आप बेसिकली आप एक पेमेंट डिडक्ट कर सकते थे बिना किसी कस्टमर का कोई सेकंड फैक्टर डाले हुए, राइट, ओटीपी डाले हुए या कोई पासवर्ड बीबीबी पासवर्ड डाले हुए. तो वो मोटो चैनल जो था वो यूज हो रहा था फॉर पावरिंग सब्सक्रिप्शंस, राइट. तो और सब चला रहे थे, ऑल गेटवे सब उसी पे चला रहे थे. इन 2019 अगस्त आरबीआई ने बोला कि नहीं, सब्सक्रिप्शन बिजनेस एक्चुअली बहुत लेजिटिमेट बिजनेस है, जहां पे हमें प्रॉपर गाइडलाइंस और प्रॉपर फ्रेमवर्क लॉन्च करना पड़ेगा इंडिया में, ताकि सब्सक्रिप्शन बिजनेस अब और ज्यादा ग्रो हो पाए, राइट. दैट इज व्हाई आरबीआई केम अप विद द गाइडलाइंस, और उन्होंने सजेस्ट किया कि 2000 से कम की जितनी भी पेमेंट्स होंगी वो सब्सक्रिप्शन में सेटअप हो सकती हैं. 2000 के ऊपर की अगर कोई सब्सक्रिप्शन पेमेंट है तो वो एक्चुअली इसीलिए बैंक मैंडेट से चलती है. अभी अगर आप यूपीआई पे जो अभी लॉन्च हुआ है सब्सक्रिप्शन का प्रोडक्ट, या वॉलेट पे जो हमारा सब्सक्रिप्शन का प्रोडक्ट लाइव है, वहां पे जितनी भी आपकी अगर मंथली पेमेंट 2000 तक की है, तो वहां पे आप सब जगह सब्सक्रिप्शन चला सकते हो, राइट. तो आपके जितने भी कंटेंट सब्सक्रिप्शन हैं वो सारे 2000 से नीचे ही होते हैं मेजरली, तो वो वहाँ पे काफी अच्छा चलता है. मोबाइल बिल पेमेंट्स में काफी पॉपुलर है. एंड जहाँ पे थोड़ा वो टिकट साइज ज्यादा होता है वहां पे मैंडेट्स हमारा ज्यादा यूज होता है, क्योंकि वहां पे वो 2000 की लिमिट नहीं है, राइट. तो बेसिकली इस आरबीआई की गाइडलाइंस आने से एक्चुअली बहुत लेजिटिमेसी मिली सब्सक्रिप्शंस प्रोडक्ट को, और अब एक्चुअली तभी नए नए इनोवेशंस भी हो रहे हैं सब्सक्रिप्शंस में, लाइक यूपीआई ऑटो पे इज वन सच ग्रेट इनोवेशन दैट हैज हैपेंड. और इस
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन एंड व्हिच इज आई थिंक रिलेटेड टू दिस. तो क्वेश्चन मेरा ये है कि ऑब्वियसली एवरीबडी नोज कि मंथली सब्सक्रिप्शन तो होती ही है, बट क्या इज इट पॉसिबल फॉर मी एज अ मर्चेंट टू हैव अ वीकली सब्सक्रिप्शन और मे बी अ क्वार्टरली या ईयरली सब्सक्रिप्शन, वो भी क्या पॉसिबल है?
डेफिनेटली सौरभ. तो आप basically you can set up daily subscriptions, you can set up weekly subscriptions, you can set up bi-monthly subscriptions, quarterly. So we support all frequencies, so depending on merchant ki kya need hai.
So technically you can set any frequency. Paytm doesn't have any buckets, predefined buckets.
No, there is no predefined bucket.
Okay.
In fact we also support on demand kind of subscriptions, जहाँ पे एक्चुअली फ्रीक्वेंसी लिंक नहीं भी होता. ऑब्वियसली वो थोड़ा स्पेसिफिक यूज केसेस के लिए यूज होता है, बट वी आल्सो सपोर्ट दैट वेयर कोई फ्रीक्वेंसी स्पेसिफिक नहीं है.
So Shivya, I have next question for you. So how has recurring payments helped Paytm? So basically, obviously Paytm is using recurring payments. एक example दो जगह पे जहाँ I am personally using as a customer, I would say. एक तो क्रेडिट कार्ड के थ्रू जो मेरा वॉलेट बैलेंस पहले नीचे हो जाता था, एंड अब तो बहुत दिन से पेट्रोल पंप गया नहीं, बट अर्लियर व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग, आई वेंट टू पेट्रोल पंप एंड वो जनरली होता था कि पेटीएम वॉलेट बैलेंस वाज बिलो what I was spending, so I put this automatic thing for that. And second, मैं Paytm Money में SIPs जो होते हैं, so वो that is very convenient. One time I had to set the mandate and now automatically पिछले एक साल से अपने आप हो रहा है. So I believe obviously यहाँ तो help हुआ ही है, but can you share other instances where recurring payments have helped Paytm?
सौरभ, आई थिंक आपने ऑलरेडी मतलब आपने दो यूज केसेस का तो बता दिया, राइट. आई थिंक जो सबसे बड़ा हेल्प हमने देखा है दैट इज जैसे आपकी जो बिजली का बिल है, वाटर, गैस, कितनी बार हम फैमिली में भी सुनते हैं कि कितने सारे बिल्स होते हैं, याद ही नहीं रहता है कि कब कौन सा बिल पे करना है, राइट. तो इसमें मतलब हम पेटीएम में बिलीव करते हैं कि आप कस्टमर की एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो और मर्चेंट की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो, तो ऑटोमेटिकली पेटीएम इज गोइंग टू बेनिफिट फ्रॉम दैट. तो कस्टमर स्टैंड पॉइंट से बिल पेमेंट में बहुत कन्वीनियंट हो गया है, बिकॉज अब कस्टमर कोई भी बिल होता है आपका या आपको कोई भी ट्रांसफर करना होता है, आपको खुद याद नहीं रखना पड़ता है. यू कैन जस्ट मतलब आप एक बार आओगे, आप सेटअप करोगे एंड वो पेटीएम आपके लिए कर रहा होता है बिल पेमेंट. तो हमें बहुत सारा फीडबैक भी मिला है कस्टमर से कि आप इसमें ये इम्प्रूव करो, क्योंकि हमें तो बहुत कन्वीनियंट हो गया है। तो एक पार्ट तो कस्टमर का कन्वीनियंस है, एंड मर्चेंट साइड पे भी मतलब सब सब कंपनी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है सबका अलग एक मर्चेंट फेसिंग रोल होता है। अब हमारे केस में जैसे मोबाइल का आप पोस्टपेड बिल पे कर रहे हो, तो उस केस में जैसे जो टेलकोज हैं, एयरटेल, वोडाफोन, उनके लिए बहुत बेनिफिट होता है, बिकॉज अगर उनके कस्टमर्स पेटीएम पे आके सब्सक्रिप्शन क्रिएट करते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली आपने एक कस्टमर का स्टिकीनेस इंक्रीज कर दिया। एक एक फैक्ट ये है कि हमारे पास सिंस द टाइम हमने स्टार्ट किया था, इट्स लाइक बिन मोर देन 2 years, ऐसे भी यूजर्स हैं जो 2 साल से हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे अभी भी उनकी सब्सक्रिप्शन लाइव है। तो आई थिंक ऐसा तो कोई भी प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में नहीं है जहां पे आप एक एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आप कस्टमर को अपने प्लेटफॉर्म पे के पास यू आर क्रिएटिंग दैट स्टिकीनेस कि ये कस्टमर 2 साल तक नहीं जाएगा। नहीं तो इतना कॉस्ट इनकर होता है उस कस्टमर को रिटेन करने में, अगर कोई छोड़ देता है आपके प्लेटफॉर्म को उसको वापस एक्वायर करने में। तो आई थिंक वो सब चीजों से बहुत ज्यादा बेनिफिट हुआ है पेटीएम को।
Okay, so next question I would be asking from Nimit. Nimit, how should subscriptions be integrated by a content-based startup? We see a lot of startups which are into video, music, or magazine content. So
Right.
how can they use subscriptions?
Right.
Because
Right.
आजकल अगर मैं इसको थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड दूं तो many people were having Google ads वगैरह and वो click factories बन गई practically and the quality of content actually had reduced. So this is a new thing which we are seeing in a lot of online publications are charging now subscriptions.
Right, right. Actually, Saurabh, if you would have seen a lot of आपके news websites, बहुत सारे आपके video streaming platforms, music streaming platforms, आजकल subscription based revenue model पे जा रहे हैं, right? All ये जितने भी इस content based startups हैं, इनके दो ही business model होते हैं, या तो ads से पैसे बना सकते हैं या कस्टमर को सब्सक्रिप्शन रेवेन्यू कैन बी चार्ज, राइट? एड्स वो एक बिजनेस मॉडल है, कई लोग को लगता है कि वो इरिटेटिंग है इसलिए वो सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल इज आल्सो यूज्ड कि यार आप एड्स बंद करने के लिए आप सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल पे आ सको। तो सब्सक्रिप्शन का जो बिजनेस मॉडल है फॉर दीज काइंड्स ऑफ मर्चेंट्स इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो उसमें एंड लाइक शिव्या मेंशन्ड, the problem with having to the customer having to make a payment every time is that आपको हर बारी उस कस्टमर को अक्वायर करना पड़ता है, राइट? आज अगर आपने उसको एक बारी कन्विंस कर लिया कि यस तू मेरी सर्विस ले ले एंड आके मेरा कंटेंट व्यू कर, बट लेट्स से नेक्स्ट मंथ यू हैव टू आस्क हिम अगेन टू कम एंड पे, राइट? तो एवरी टाइम आपकी फनल में ना, लेट्स से मंथ 1 में 100 कस्टमर्स थे तो मंथ 2 में लेट्स से 95 हो जाएंगे, फिर कम हो जाएंगे, राइट? तो आपको वो उतना ही कॉस्ट और इनकर करना पड़ता है टू कीप गेटिंग मोर users. That's why we've created this subscription offering where coming back to the core principle of subscription कि आप you spend your effort one time to acquire a customer, एक बारी आप अच्छे से कस्टमर को acquire कर लो, then rest of the payments are automated. Now how do you integrate the Paytm का subscriptions setup, right? So जो आपका first time setup वाला flow है, so we give like 2 kinds of offerings. One is a quick integration based offering. So let's say आपका नया स्टार्टअप है, आप उतना अभी टेक बैंडविड्थ नहीं लगाना चाहते, and a quick integration, but you want a very stable and robust kind of integration, then we suggest कि अगर आपका app based platform है तो आप all in one SDK integrate कर लो, because वहाँ पे आपको with a single integration जो आप maybe you can finish in a couple of days, you can leverage जो Paytm app पे जितने भी सारे features हैं वो आपको automatically मिल जाते हैं. तो all in one SDK with our subscription offering is what we recommend for quick integrations. For अगर if थोड़ा सा startup है who wants to spend more tech bandwidth, आजकल lot of tech expertise is there in bandwidth and they want to create a very native and custom kind of experience on their own websites and apps, तो वहाँ पे they can integrate our custom checkout solution where they can create their own UI elements, अपना वो कौन से payment options कैसे दिखाने हैं, क्या look and feel रखनी है for the customer, वो सारा control उसमें merchant के पास खुद ही रहता है. तो these are the two, and then basically आपका तो ये आप मॉडल्स चूज करते हो कि यार आपको कौन सा सब्सक्रिप्शन क्रिएशन के लिए यूज करना है. रेस्ट जो आपका फ्लो है वो बहुत ही सिंपल है. अगर whenever every month you want to just collect the payment, हम एक बैकएंड की एपीआई देते हैं जहां से आप सिंपली बस उस एपीआई को हिट करो, वो आपको इमीडिएटली बता देती है कि पैसे डिडक्ट करके मिल गए. तो कस्टमर को दोबारा ऑब्वियसली आके पे करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, राइट. तो दो फ्लोज हैं. अगर टेक एक्सपर्टीज ज्यादा है एंड आप बहुत कस्टम एक्सपीरियंस चाहते हो तो कस्टम चेकआउट या कस्टम यूआई एसडीके इंटीग्रेट कर लें merchants. Agar if they want a quicker solution but with the same robustness and same very very superlative kind of experience, they can go ahead with standard checkout या all-in-one SDK depending on concept.
So my next question is from Shivya. So what initiatives has Paytm taken to increase subscriptions on its platform? So agar Shivya, if you can tell about some of the initiatives to increase subscriptions on Paytm.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about how to integrate the, how to set up the automatic subscriptions. But because we have an experience of, more than 2 years, तो इसमें ना largely, हमने 2-3 चीजें करी हैं. Like if I want to talk about 3 buckets. एक है कि हमने कस्टमर की सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप कस्टमर को कौन से कस्टमर को टारगेट कर रहे हो ऑटोमेटिक पेमेंट के लिए. दूसरा है आप कौन से क्या टाइम पे कस्टमर को पिच कर रहे हो कि आप अपना सब्सक्रिप्शन खरीदो. एंड दिस इज ऑल आई एम टॉकिंग फ्रॉम अ पेटीएम स्टैंड पॉइंट, राइट. व्हाट हैज वर्कड फॉर अस. एंड द थर्ड इज व्हाट पिच डू यू क्रिएट. सो व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट द राइट टाइप ऑफ कस्टमर सेगमेंटेशन, आई थिंक जो कस्टमर आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे एनी विच वेज हर महीने आ रहा है, हर 15 डेज में आ रहा है या फिर हर वीक आ रहा है, आप ऑब्वियसली वो तो एकदम लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट है. आप उसको टारगेट करोगे तो उसकी तो नीड है ही, वो आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे हर महीने आने वाला है. इससे बेटर है आप उसको वैसे ही पिच कर दो ताकि अगर कोई और प्लेटफॉर्म कोई बेटर ऑफरिंग कभी मतलब कोई ऑफर वगैरह भी दे रहा हो, उसके दिमाग से वो हट जाएगा एंड ही विल रिमेन स्टिकी. तो द राइट, आई थिंक वी वर्कड अ लॉट ऑन द कस्टमर सेगमेंटेशन पीस. द सेकंड पार्ट इज द राइट टाइम. जैसे अगर कोई, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है समझना कि कस्टमर क्या टाइप का है. सपोज एक न्यू यूजर आया है, सबसे पहले हमने उसको हमने जो बाइफरकेट ऐसे फ्लोज करे हैं कि कोई न्यू यूजर आ रहा है तो आप उसको पहले ट्रांजैक्शन एक्सपीरियंस करने दो, उसको एक पेमेंट तो करने दो. उसके बाद आप उसको बताओ कि अच्छा आपने एक पेमेंट एक्सपीरियंस करा है, आप जाके आप एक्चुअली एक रेकरिंग सब्सक्रिप्शन क्रिएट कर दो. या फिर कोई आपने अगर एक सब्सक्रिप्शन उसने क्रिएट करी, हमने उसको बताया कि ये तो है ही, लेकिन आप ना आपके बाकी के जो सब्सक्रिप्शन है उसको भी आप ऑटोमेट कर सकते हो. बहुत सारे बैनर्स चलाए हैं, पुश नोटिफिकेशंस वगैरह भेज के वी हैव एक्चुअली इंक्रीज दैट. एंड द लास्ट थिंग इज, हमने बहुत सारे यूजर्स का एक सर्वे किया था, तो उसमें देयर वर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग इनसाइट्स. बिकॉज जो इंडियन कस्टमर बेस है ना, वो समझना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अगर आप कस्टमर को ये जैसे ही बोलते हो ना कि लिंक योर बैंक अकाउंट, लिंक योर क्रेडिट कार्ड, वहां पे एक यूजर के माइंड में ना एक इनसिक्योरिटी सी फीलिंग आती है कि मतलब मेरा कार्ड आपने लिंक करा दिया, क्या उसका आप कैसे उसको यूज करने वाले. तो आई थिंक वो ट्रस्ट बिल्डिंग एंड इन्फॉर्मेशन जब वो यूजर सेटअप करने जाना है ना अपना ऑटोमेटिक पेमेंट, हमने उस पर बहुत काम करा है. जैसे वी टोल्ड द कस्टमर के आपका जो कार्ड है वो यहाँ पे बिल्कुल सिक्योर है. हम आपको इन्फॉर्म करेंगे आपके रिन्यूअल के पहले, एवरी रिन्यूअल वी विल ट्रिगर अ कम्युनिकेशन टू यू कि आपका ऑटोमेटिक डिडक्ट होने वाला है. देन आप कभी भी आके प्लेटफॉर्म पे अपना मैनेज कर सकते हो सब्सक्रिप्शन. आप उसका जो पेमेंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट है वो चेंज कर सकते हो, आप डिलीट कर सकते हो पेमेंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट. यू कैन गो अहेड एंड पॉज योर सब्सक्रिप्शन एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. And the other last thing we've noticed, right, which has helped us increase our funnel and reduce the drop off, I think that is more to do with the regulatory framework in India. As Nimit has already given us a brief overview that मतलब कितने टाइप के पेमेंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है. अर्लियर जब हमने स्टार्ट किया था, वी स्टार्टेड विद वॉलेट. तो ऑब्वियसली जिसको वॉलेट पे नहीं लगाना है, एंड आई मीन वॉलेट बैलेंसेस आर लार्जली अराउंड 350, नॉट मोर देन दैट. So there were a lot of drop in the success rate there. But we've started over a period of time, in our SDK, in our subscription product, इतने सारे instruments अब add हो गए हैं. जैसे पहले क्रेडिट कार्ड और डेबिट कार्ड पे there is a cap कि आप 2000 से ज्यादा का रिन्यूअल नहीं कर सकते. बट अब विद NACH mandate and especially Paytm context में आपके बिजली के बिल तो मतलब they will pan across like beyond 5 lakh 6 lakh. So I think NACH mandate जो NPCI ने अभी recently launch करा है, that has helped us. We launched that on bill payments And currently up to 1 lakh ka bills you can pay through that. And NPC has already given an proposal to increase it to 10 lakhs also. So I'm sure it's going to keep increasing and evolving over a period of time. So I think it's been very interesting. It's helped us immensely to retain our customers.
So Nimit, a last question somebody is asking. So this person is into construction business and they have started a EMI payment method. So right now they are doing it manually. They want to automate it. And combined with this, I want to add my own question to this. So does Paytm have solutions for lending and investment startups? So you can share the use case for this construction person who is wanting to charge the EMI from the customer as well as from a lending and investment point.
Right, right. So actually it's a एक्चुअली दोनों इंटरलिंक भी हैं क्योंकि दोनों ऐसे यूज केसेस हैं जहां पे एक्चुअली टिकट साइज थोड़े ज्यादा होते हैं. इवन कंस्ट्रक्शन बिजनेस हैज अ लिटिल हायर यूज के अमाउंट एज अ यूज केस. तो यहाँ पे ना एक्चुअली आपका जो बैंक मैंडेट्स एज अ पेमेंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, जो नैच मैंडेट्स एनपीसीआई का प्रोडक्ट है, वो काफी रोल प्ले करता है. तो टिपिकली पहले क्या था, पहले लोग एक्चुअली जाके वो मैनुअली एनएसीएच का फॉर्म फिल करवाते थे, और एक बार ही आपने वो कर दिया तो ऑटोमेटिकली फिर यू नो मर्चेंट को फाइल्स, बैंक को फाइल्स भेजनी होती थी हर महीने की, इतने पैसे डिडक्ट करो, राइट. तो वो वाला प्रोडक्ट ना अब एक्चुअली ऑटोमेट हो गया. एंड actually a lot of your lending and insurance and mutual funds and stock trade, these kinds of companies are now integrating with the e-mandate wala solution, जहाँ पे कस्टमर को it's very easy to just अपने वेबसाइट से आप एक्चुअली कस्टमर को सीधे बैंक के पेज पे रिडायरेक्ट कर सकते हो. वहाँ बैंक के पेज पे यूजर विल जस्ट हैव टू लॉग इन विद हिज internet banking ID or password. He can also have an option to enter his debit card details and OTP, and वो ये details डालते ही उसका subscription setup हो जाता है, right? और अब आपको जब month on month deduct करना है तो आपके पास वो एक automated API भी है. तो rather than having to go through a manual process of कि आप वो physical form sign कराओ, वो files बनाओ, वो files बैंक के portals पे update करो, आप Paytm Subscriptions का सोल्यूशन इंटीग्रेट कर लो अपनी वेबसाइट पे या अपनी ऐप में, और आपका और वहीं से आपका जो मैंडेट है वो इंटरनेट बैंकिंग या डेबिट कार्ड के द्वारा आपका सेट हो जाएगा. एंड देन आपके पेमेंट्स ऑटोमेटिकली मंथ ऑन मंथ आप डिडक्ट कर सकते हो. एज शिव्या मेंशन्ड, दिस द लिमिट ऑन दिस इज ऑलरेडी 1 lakh rupees for e-mandates, and is actually NPCI has revised it now to 10 lakhs, and slowly banks will also come and increase those limits to 10 lakh. तो आपका up to 10 lakh rupees of payments आप automatically customer से deduct कर सकते हो using the product subscriptions.
Nimit and Shivya, it was nice having you, and I believe आप लोगों का काफी ज्ञान बढ़ा होगा सब्सक्रिप्शंस के बारे में, बिकॉज मैंने अभी एक बुक पढ़ी थी, इट वाज ऑन सब्सक्रिप्शंस एंड इट वाज सेइंग दैट 21st सेंचुरी का पेमेंट मोड इज सब्सक्रिप्शन. एंड इन द करंट कोविड एनवायरनमेंट अगर आप देखते हैं तो आप देखिए अभी भी स्कूल की फीस हम दे रहे हैं बच्चों की. तो सब्सक्रिप्शन बड़ा ओल्ड बिजनेस मॉडल है, बट इट्स अ वेरी रोबस्ट बिजनेस मॉडल, एंड स्पेशली इन द करंट एनवायरनमेंट लाइक कोविड, it's a very good business model, because अगर आप one time payment ले रहे हो तो obviously it will fall and rise based on the market sentiment, demand for the product. But subscription school को जैसे देखो कि once you start the subscription कितने साल होती रहती है. So I believe subscription is a very robust business model, and it is gaining a lot of traction in Silicon Valley also. So we have subscriptions in various sort of products these days, and I believe Paytm can be a good partner in your quest for getting more subscription revenue. And I believe this current webinar was useful to you all. So thanks Nimit, thanks Shivya, and next time we will be focusing on education sector, and on 18th of September we would be calling Mr. Rajan Anandan for the interview. He is one of the biggest early stage investors in India right now. So on September 9th we would be having the webinar on education sector, and on September 18th we would be having the webinar on funding for startups, and Mr. Rajanandan will be the guest. With that, I'm signing off. Build for India, because our country needs thousands of startups.